So in the previous video we discussed about pipeline transport. Hope you all remember that. And now I'm going to explain to you the waterways. Okay, waterways. A waterway is an important mode of transport for both passenger and cargo traffic in India. Okay, so in like in roads, we will not have traffic in water, and to certain countries, going through bus or using road transport would be really very tough task. So in that cases, we can use waterway, which will be the most easier one to reach, and it'll also take you there quicker without any traffic. It is the oldest and also the cheapest means of transport and most suitable for carrying heavy and bulky materials from one country to another. So, this type of transport is most suitable for carrying heavy materials or bulky materials from one country to another. Through ship, they'll be carrying out. It is a fuel efficient and eco friendly mode of transport. It does not require much fuel, so it's fuel efficient and eco-friendly. It does not affect nature in any ways, so it's called eco-friendly mode of transport. The water transport is of two types: inland waterways and ocean waterways. Ocean waterways is also called sea routes. Inland waterways and ocean waterways. Okay. First one, inland waterways. India has an extensive network of inland waterways in the form of rivers, canals, lakes, and backwaters. So this inland waterways will be in the form of rivers, canals, lakes, and backwaters. It depends upon the depth and width of waterways and the continuity of the water flow. So this waterways depends upon the continuity of the water flow, okay, and how the width and depth of the waterway. The total navigable length of our country is 14,500 kilometer, out of which about 5,200 kilometer length of rivers and 4,000 kilometer length of canals can be used by mechanized crafts. The total cargo carried by inland waterways is just about 0.1% of the total inland traffic of India. So the traffic that the waterways can take is up to just 0.1%. Yeah. So for the development, maintenance, and regulation of national waterways in the country, the Inland Waterways Authority was set up in 1986. Inland Waterways Authority was set up in 1986. The major national waterways are National Waterway 1. It extends between Haldia and Allahabad and measures 1620 km and includes the stretches of the Ganga Bhagirathi Hooghly River system. Yeah. National Waterway 2. This waterway includes the stretch of the Brahmaputra River between Dhubri and Sadia, a distance of 891 km. Next is National Waterway 3. This waterway extends between Kollam and Kottappuram in the state of Kerala. So it is the first national waterway in the country with 24-hour navigation facilities along its entire stretch of 205 km. So it provides 24-hour navigation facilities. Yeah. So next is oceanic routes or sea routes. Oceanic routes play an important role in the transport sector of India's economy. About 95% of India's foreign trade by volume and 70% by value moves through ocean routes. Okay, coastal shipping plays an important role in transport of bulk goods in India. Shipping is not only the most economical mode of transport, It's also an environment friendly mode, like I already said you. The sea and oceanic routes are mainly used for international trade and are connected through ports. There are 13 major and 200 minor or intermediate ports in India. The major ports are administered by the central government, and minor ports are managed and administered by various state governments. The major ports on the east coast are Kolkata, including Haldia Dock, Paradeep, Vishakhapatnam, Chennai, Ennur, and Tuticorin. The major ports on the west coast are. So earlier we saw the ports in east coast, and now the ports in west coast are Kandla, Mumbai, Navya Seva or Jawaharlal Nehru Port, New Mangalore, Marmagoa, and Kochi. These are the western ports, west coast ports. India has four major shipyards where they park all the ships and all. India has four major shipyards: Hindustan Shipyard in Vishakhapatnam, Garden Reach Workshop in Kolkata, Mazagaon Dock in Mumbai, Kochi Shipyard in Kochi. India is the second largest ship owning country in Asia and ranks 16th in the world. Hope it was clear. And next we are going to see the air transport. We saw road transport, pipeline transport, waterways, and now air transport. Airways are the quickest, costliest, most modern and comfortable means of transport. I hope everybody would agree this. The quickest, costliest, most modern and comfortable means of transport. Air transport facilitates connectivity on a national, regional and international scale. Okay, it has made accessibility easier by connecting difficult terrains like high mountains and sandy deserts. It travels through high mountains, it passes over high mountains and sandy deserts too. It carries passengers, freight, and mail. Air transport plays a key role in times of emergency as well as in the event of natural and man made calamities like floods, epidemics, and wars. So, during this time, during floods, during natural calamities, most of them would prefer the airline transport. See, you must have remembered this, right? When there was flood in Chennai before 2 years, food was provided to the people living there. How they were provided? They did not go by walk or bus or something like that. Through helicopter, the food were dropped. So likewise, air transport can be used during natural calamities. Air transport in India made a beginning on 18th February 1918 when Henry Pickett carried a mail from Allahabad to Naini. So in India, the first air transport, it was found in 1918. And in 1953, 8 different airlines which were in operation in the country were nationalized. So there were 8 different airlines which were already existing. They were nationalized. Okay, which means everyone, people all over India can use it. Domestic airways fly within the boundaries of a country. Domestic, within the country, within India, you can go anywhere. And international airways connect major cities of the world. The Indian Airlines and Air India are the two airline services run by the Government of India. The two airline services run by the Government of India are Indian Airlines and Air India. Yeah. Indian Airlines provide the domestic air services and Air India provides international air services. So Indian Airlines provide the domestic air services, and Air India provides international air services. Yeah. Okay. Presently, there are 19 designated international airports available in the country. These airports are managed by Airports Authority of India. These airports are managed by Airports Authority of India. Some of them are Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose International Airport, Kolkata Chennai International Airport, Chennai Indira Gandhi International Airport. Oh, I'm sorry, I'll again repeat. Uh, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose International Airport, Kolkata, Chennai International Airport, Chennai, Indira Gandhi International Airport in Delhi, Chhatrapati Shivaji International Airport in Mumbai, Thiruvananthapuram International Airport in Thiruvananthapuram, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel International Airport in Allahabad, Bangalore International Airport in Bengaluru, Rajiv Gandhi International Airport in Hyderabad, etc. Besides this, there are about 80 domestic airports and about 25 civil enclaves at defense airfields. So these are the international airports. Apart from these, there are 80 domestic airports and 25 civil ones. Yeah. Okay, there was a map here. Okay, this shows the airways, the international routes, domestic route, international airports and domestic airports. See how they are represented. The red flight is international airport, blue flight is domestic airport, and green lines are international route, red lines are domestic route. I'll view the map for you. You can see this. I'm moving it slowly. You can check the red airports where the international airports are being located. Yeah. Okay, now let's see waterways. This is sea routes. Okay, see how they're being represented. The green smaller ones are minor ports, yellow bigger ones are major ports, and the blue lines are sea routes. See how the routes are being. I'll view from Jammu Kashmir. Hope you were able to view it clearly. Yeah. So we discussed about the airports, right? Now I'm going to tell you about Pavan Hans Helicopter Limited. Pavan Hans Helicopter Limited has been providing helicopter support services to the petroleum sector, including ONGC and Oil India Limited. So this helicopter, Pavan Hans Helicopter Limited, has been providing it's giving the helicopter support services to petroleum sectors like ONGC and Oil India Limited. It's a public sector company based in New Delhi, which is in New Delhi. Its operations are based at the Juhu Aerodrome in Valparle, West Mumbai. Pawan Hans is a mini Ratna 1 category public sector undertaking. It often provides services to various state governments in India, particularly Northeast India, inter-island, ferry services in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, services to Lakshadweep Island, etc. So they're telling what are the services offered by Pawan Hans Helicopter Limited. Okay. Next is Airports Authority of India, AAI. Airports Authority of India was constituted in 1995. It provides security to Indian airports. AAI, under the Ministry of Civil Aviation, is responsible for creating, upgrading, maintaining, and managing civil aviation infrastructure in India. So, all this is being maintained by AAI. Okay, I guess so. Here we wind up with airports. Next, let's move on to communication. We all know what communication is. Communication is a process that involves exchange of information, thoughts, and ideas. So, what do we say when we mean we communicate with each other? Which means we talk to each other. Talking means we exchange information or our thoughts and ideas. Technology does wonders in communication fields. So, communication wouldn't be easier without technology. So, it does wonders, it does miracles in communication fields. Communication is categorized into personal and mass communications. Personal communication and mass communication. First, personal communication. The exchange of information between the individuals is called personal communication. So in the information would be exchanged between individuals. That's called as personal communication. It includes post and telegraph services, telephone, mobile phone, short message services, fax, internet, email, etc. So how we communicate with each other? Through all these medium, right? Post, telegraph, telephone, mobile phone, messaging, fax, internet, email. Personal communication system enables the user to establish direct contact. So this personal communication system will be from one person to another person indirect. The Indian postal network is the largest in the world with 1,55,000 post offices. Of these, more than 1,39,000 post offices are located in rural areas, which is a good thing. Nowadays, people in urban areas now, almost all of us are using mobile phones. Technology has developed, but earlier, passing information, which is communication, was very difficult in rural areas. So that is the reason why they established more number of post offices in rural areas. Like see, out of 1,55,000 post offices, 1,39,000 are located in rural only. So the postal service was opened to the public in the country in 1837. So the postal service was opened in the year 1837. The first Indian postal stamp was issued in 1852 in Karachi. Collecting and delivering mail is the primary function of the Department of Posts. Collecting something and delivering it, that was the main function. It introduced the quick mail service in 1975. Quick mail service in 1975. And today it covers the entire country. The quick mail service functions on the basis of the system of PIN, postal index number code, PIN code. which was introduced in 1972. The premium products include the money order, e-money order, speed post, express parcel post, business post, media post, satellite post, retail post, greeting post, data post, speednet and speed passport services. These are the premium services offered by the post office. So here's an additional information for you guys just to know. In 2007, the government of India merged the Air India and Indian Airlines under National Aviation Corporation of India Limited (NACIL), in which NACIL provides in, NACIL within brackets A provides international services and NACIL within brackets I provides domestic services and services to neighboring countries in Southeast Asia and Middle East. So this Air India and Indian Airlines uh, was formed under National Aviation Corporation of India (NACIL), and in NACIL A provided international services, NACIL I provides domestic services. Hope it was clear. Next, let's come back to this. Cards and envelopes are considered first class mail and are airlifted between stations covering both land and air. The second class mail, the first class mail are airlifted between stations covering both land and air. Yeah. Second class mail includes book packets, registered newspapers and periodicals. They are carried by surface mail covering land and water transport. To facilitate quick delivery of mails in large towns and cities, 6 mail channels have been introduced recently. So, for quicker delivery of mails or parcels or all your posts, 6 mail channels were introduced recently. They are called Rajdhani channel, Metro channel, Green channel, Business channel, Bulk mail channel, and Periodical channel. India has one of the largest telecommunication networks in Asia. Apart from the urban areas, more than two-thirds of the villages in India have already been covered with subscriber trunk dialing (STD) telephone facility, while international communication can be made through IST. We must be knowing about STD and IST. Earlier, we didn't have all these mobile phones, right? We used to make STD calls and ISTs through telephones that were in streets. International subscriber dialing. ISD stands for International Subscriber Dialing. There is an uniform rate of STD facilities all over India. Telephone is a form of oral communication. It is considered very essential for the growth of commerce. It is the most preferred form as it provides instant communication. Mobile phone, fax, and internet are the other personal communication used in the country. So nowadays, the most used communication network is mobile phone and internet. Yeah. Next, so till now we discussed about personal communication, and now I'm going to explain you mass communication systems. Mass communication enables millions of people to get the information at the same time. So one information is shared to the millions of people at the same time. It's a great way to provide education as well as entertainment. Mass communication provides education and entertainment. It helps in creating awareness among the people regarding various national policies and programs. The mass communication systems can provide the information to people in two methods. So, mass communication provides information to people in two methods. One is print media and the other one is electronic media. So, we'll discuss what electronic media is. Radio broadcasting in India was started in 1923 by the Radio Club of Bombay. Since then, it gained immense popularity and changed the social and cultural life of people. It was named as All India Radio Air in 1936, and again it was renamed as Akashvani in 1957. It broadcasts a variety of programs related to information, education, and entertainment. Special news bulletins are also broadcasted on special occasions like session of parliament and state legislature. So whenever there is all this press meet, all this parliamentary sessions, they'll be releasing special news to the people. So it was in olden days. I'm talking about the radio broadcasting, which comes under the electronic media. Next is television broadcasting. Television broadcasting has emerged as the most effective audiovisual medium for disseminating information and educating the masses. So nowadays television broadcasting has become the famous one. Audio and visual both is being provided by televisions, and television network in India is known as Doordarshan (DD), which started common national program services, and it's extended to the backward and remote rural areas. First channel was DD Doordarshan. Internet, and finally we are into the next generation, which is internet. Contraction of interconnected network. Interconnected network is shortly termed as internet. Internet stands for interconnected network. Okay, it is a global system of interconnected computer networks that use the internet protocol to link devices worldwide. So this interconnected computer networks all over the world will connect the internets and provides information all over the world. Social media are interactive computer mediated technologies that facilitate the creation and sharing of information, ideas, career interests, and other forms of expression via virtual communities and network. With over 460 million internet users, India is the second largest online market, ranked only behind China. So it's good that we are advanced because we're using so much of internet. Almost around 460 million internet users are in India, and we stand second largest online market next to China. By 2021, there will be about 635.8 million internet users in India. Despite the large base of internet users in India, only 26% of the Indian population accessed the internet in 2015. Just listen. So only 26% of people were accessing internet till 2015. This is a significant increase in comparison to the previous years. Considering the internet penetration rate in India stood at about 10%. So 10% in 2011, 25% in 2015, and by 2021, 65% of people will be using internet, it seems. Furthermore, men dominated internet usage in India with 71% to women's 29%. So 71% of men used internet, while only 29% of women were using internet in India. This is the data as per 2011, I guess. Next is print media. I told you about two medias, right? Electronic media and print media. Now we are discussing about print media. Newspapers are the most common but powerful means of communication, come under print media. Printing something, newspaper. So print media uses newspapers for powerful means of communication. India has many newspapers which carry information on local, national, and international events to the people. So until now we discussed about mass communication, and Yeah, in the next video I shall explain you about satellite communication. Okay, thank you.